1260, Indy Sports Station.
Welcome back to Victory Field. St. Paul holding a 1-0 lead as we dance along to the third inning on a beautiful night here at Victory Field. Just absolutely outstanding weather after a bit of a shaky week as far as the storms and the humidity rolling through. But boy, it's gorgeous outside. Please be joined by our friends at Indiana 811. Mr. Darby Miller. Darby, thank you so much for stopping by the booth here today.
Well, I'm thrilled to be here, especially on a day like today.
Oh, it's gorgeous out there. Sorry you had to be in here with me. We'll get you out of here.
Nice try.
Our good friends at Indiana 811. You've heard them, of course, on the Indiana 811 call to the bullpen, which the Indians are hoping won't be needed until later as Bo Sulcer delivers a first pitch strike to Tom Shea 0-1. Darby, tell us a little bit about why it's so important to contact Indiana 811 before really any type of home construction process.
We really want you to contact 811 just because there's so much underground that people are not aware of. You never know what's under there. There might be gas lines, electric lines, fiber optic cables.
I'm not sure how good that is. Doesn't sound
too good. You don't want to break any of that stuff. You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to, you don't want to shut off being able to watch the Indians because you broke your cable connection.
That would be terrible.
That'd be awful if you missed the game.
Yeah.
So we want you to use 811 so you don't get hurt and know your neighborhood gets hurt.
That's probably the big thing is that I think people don't realize that it's not just I hit a water line or something and that's going to cause a little bit of flooding. It can be legitimately dangerous if you really run into that stuff that you may not know is below them.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff is maybe not always buried that deep. You never know quite how deep it is. So you need to make sure that you contact the 811, get your yard marked before your project. You just make sure you don't hit that gas line or that electric line that's going to cause a lot of problems for you.
Great diving effort made up the middle by Michael Chavis. He won't get his man as Tom Shea ends up legging out an infield.
That was a pretty close play by Chavis,
I'm still baffled as to how that ball stayed on the infield. As Chavis diving, that ball kicks off the mound. That ball was even on the third base side of second, but Chavis in shallow center ended up getting to it and then threw a pretty good one to first base. An easy scoop from Phillip Evans, just not in time to get Tom Shea, who reaches to lead off this top of the third inning. St. Paul already leading 1-0. Chatting with our friends at Indiana 811. Mr. Darby Miller stopping by. Great example that I can give is my parents, this is probably 8 or 9 years ago, back in Kentucky where I'm from. They had a geothermal unit put in. They live on a farm, so there's a lot of open space. And my grandpa owned the farm originally, so you're talking back into the early 60s.
Are you sure that's the story?
And there was stuff below the ground that they had dug.
So he's on base.
Yes. That they didn't know about. That was mapped out in the Kentucky version of the Kentucky 811, able to figure that stuff out. So
because 4 balls equals a base.
For a long time, there still may be stuff down there
really struggling
that you're really
right now.
not aware of.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
This could easily be a 2 or 3 nothing game for
sure. And that is
but
not
that's
the case.
okay, because I don't care.
Not as good as they think it is. And just better safe than sorry is what we say. Use the system, mark everything out there, and then just dig carefully. Don't get hurt.
I'm a great example of that. I always say, I know exactly where it is. My desk is a
true,
mess.
but I can almost guarantee the Indians are going to get on the board
they would
pretty soon.
move in immediately and start a disaster relief program for my desk.
It's almost. I don't think they've been shut out at home court all year.
I just say that. But how can someone submit these locate requests for a big project? Maybe a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, easiest way to do it.
I think that's going out of the cart. I think that's foul.
Sure. Go to indiana811.org
that went out of the park, so they just
do self-submit your own ticket. If you want to, you can still call. It just tends to be a little faster than usually doing online. So yeah, indiana811.org. Do it yourself, or you can call 811.
That was a really hard
inside
hit,
for a ball to Keon Broxton, the former Indianapolis Indians. So that's ball 4. He reaches, and now Bo Sulcer into the jam. That's his first walk of the day. So a single that started this frame off, just the second hit he's given up this evening. But now 2 on, nobody out. The lineup card flips over. Nick Gordon.
Get somebody in the bullpen.
Minnesota Twin Tom Gordon steps in as the pitch
continues,
on the outside corner, a strike to him. We're chatting with Darby Miller of Indiana 811. One of the more easier phone numbers to remember. I know of course, the website obviously being utilized more, but one of the easier phone numbers to remember as well.
I've seen comebacks.
Yeah, it's excellent. That's why they did that.
Heck, I've seen a comeback from 5-0.
It works in every state.
It always works. I've seen comebacks from at least 7-0.
You just say, use 811 so you don't call 911 later.
Here's a long fly ball down the right field line. That one's going to stay fair and go out of here and gone. Nick Gordon showing the pop out near the victory bell down the right field line.
Wow, it literally just said by the victory
walk
bell.
Following the infield single really comes back to haunt the Indians.
I think that almost hit the victory bell.
Blast from Gordon. And St. Paul, a little bit of breathing room here in the third. It's now 4-0. His third home run of the year. think he was
And there's
speaking
still
of burying
nobody out,
things,
too.
trying to bury that breaking ball, but unfortunately it hung up a bit, enough for Gordon, who went down and still got it, able to golf it out. Down to the party area, down that right field line. So 3 runs are in, and still nobody out in this top of the
Another
third inning
walk,
as the pitch misses
seriously.
outside
Get
to
your
Miranda
bullpen going.
for ball 1. So a little bit of action here in the booth for you, Darby.
I mean, not the action you want to see as an Indians fan, but it's a good view at least.
At least, yes, exactly. But
I mean, yeah.
I know it's a little bit of an
They got
interesting
4
process
runs,
as to how
so-
all this works.
Although I think it's almost
the one thing I
inevitable that
thought
the Indians are going to get on the
that
board
I
at some
didn't
point.
think
It might not be.
before prepping for this interview.
It might
was
not be
from
the
a contractor perspective. I was really always thinking of it as a homeowner's
Epic, it's now
perspective. You're getting
4-0.
it ready for a contract project or maybe just a home project. That
Dude,
we do
it's
ourselves.
4-0 now.
But really, it's essential for contractors who
St.
are
Paul.
coming in. We were just joking about the whole memory
A
thing.
3-run
These are people
homer,
coming
too.
in that They have no idea.
So
really
a
the
guy
history
hit it
around
out
where
of the
they're,
park over
where
there
they're at
with 2
in
guys
Anderson.
on the bases for St.
Roughly
Paul.
drawn plans, whether it's an older neighborhood
They
or a
scored
newer
3
one,
runs.
but really essential for a contractor.
Absolutely. In fact, contractors are the biggest users of the system. Obviously, they're the guys doing most of the digging. We certainly want all homeowners to use it if they're planting a tree, working on a fence, whatever it is. But we definitely want professional contractors to be doing it because they're the guys
I
doing all
swear,
the
did we
digging.
just get another
all
walk?
day.
All the heavy lifting.
We got one.
But boy, Sulcer,
Best guy
for
in
some reason,
first.
has not been left in this
I'm
inning
assuming
because
still
there's
nobody
a
out?
Pitch walk to Miranda following the home run. So infield hit, although that ball was ticketed to go into center, was really a nice diving
that was
play
actually
by Chavis.
hit that
Then
was
a
actually
walk,
an
a
infield
3-run
hit.
homer,
That-
and
yeah.
now another walk.
The
So
guy
4
on
men have
first.
batted, 4 men have reached.
That guy actually
Runner
got
on
an
first
infield
base
hit.
for Tomas Talise, and boy, Sulcer would really love a ground ball here. But how does the whole Indiana 811 process work once the phone call or
pretzel
the
sounds
website
good.
ticket has been opened
what all
in
is
terms
there?
of actually within the project itself?
Sure, yeah, Indiana 811 is basically a clearinghouse where you'll make the request to them,
messed
and
up
then
the
they will send it
pretzel
out
in the water,
to all the
please.
utilities that are in your area.
Man,
And then those
Yes.
utilities will send out professional
that front,
locators.
that
who'll
big
put
map right there. Can
colored
you make
paint
sure that
and
gets to
flags down. They will
1260
say,
and make sure
hey, this is
that's on
approximately
1260?
where
Yeah,
the
it's on
utilities are.
1260.
Alright, cool.
And it lets you know where you need to be really careful when you're
Maybe we
digging.
can take a
If
look
you're
later.
that yellow line, that's gas. Be careful around that. So they will mark your yard up. They'll do it within 2 days. You get 2 days to do it.
And that's all color coded too, just to mention that. I've always wondered because you drive past some projects where you see like the yellow paint, you see some orange paint, and I didn't know
Guy in
it was
second,
meant
guy in
to match.
first.
So that's
Yeah, it all makes sense. It's all blue's water, yellow is gas, red is
Not
electric.
the
That orange color that you mentioned, that's telecom things,
Got it,
fiber
come on.
optic and cables and telephone lines, things like that.
Gotcha. That makes a ton of sense. I never
Wait, did it
really
just
thought
say
about it until you
Madras?
said that,
That's
and I kind of remember
Madras'
my
brother,
sister's in
that's
a newer, she just
Huh?
built a newer development.
That
for her
looks like it's
husband,
Madras'
and I remember
brother.
seeing that orange
I don't
and
know.
yellow stuff all around. I thought, why are they choosing 2 different types of paint?
That's just let the contractor know
Contreras.
whoever's doing the work,
Oh, I take that
where the
back.
things are, where they need to be careful.
2-0 the count after a brief meeting with pitching coach Joel Hanrahan and Christian Bethencourt.
Come with you.
So Sulcer really losing sight of the zone here, trying to get locked back in. As the 2-0, there's a strike on the outside corner.
This is
to
still the top of
Talise,
the third.
St. Paul catcher, as we chat with Darby Miller of our friends at Indiana 811. No bullpen activity right now for the Indians just yet. Manager Brian Esposito hoping that Sulcer, as he has so often this season, settled in and kind
What?
of rights the ship. As this one lined into right field, that's going to dump in for a single.
How loose? Let me see.
Thinking about going first to third is Miranda. He'll stop there. As the Indians deke him a little bit, pretending
supposed
the
to-
throw was
it's
going into
supposed to do that.
second, but really it was going into third.
Like if I let
That's
go
now
of
the
it at
5th
the top,
consecutive
it
batter to
literally,
reach
like,
for St.
flops
Paul.
them out.
Single,
it's
walk,
supposed to do
home
that.
run, walk, single. They're at first and second with nobody out. For Mark
Will
Contreras,
Clark
Sulcer
help with
still
the
searching
reception
not
at
only
all?
for that first
I
out,
don't
but
know.
really a love of ground ball here in this situation. Well, you mentioned those great services that Indiana
Sounds like
provides,
finally
really
gotten
essential
out.
services from a public safety standpoint, not just
Do
you,
you have
but
an
your
out?
neighbors and
1 out, 2
whoever's
outs.
doing the actual
Wait,
work
2.
itself as well.
double play.
Does Indiana 811, does that cost anything for a homeowner or a contractor?
No, it never costs anything. It's always a free
Hey,
service.
double play.
It's paid for essentially by your utilities.
Gotcha.
A single would put
great.
them at 5.
Obviously, they think that, and they're right, that it's much easier to get it
Epic, I'm
located
almost
and
certain
not
that the
damage
Indians are gonna
things.
get on the
It's
board.
way cheaper for them
Are
that
you
way.
And
you have your
certainly
mic
from a time frame point of view,
Oh, definitely.
on a project, and certainly you don't want to have any unnecessary delays to repair something when you're trying to actually do something new.
That's exactly right.
Very briefly.
Want to know the count
Nice,
of
that's not a
Contreras.
good idea.
2 on and nobody out. Here in what has been a messy inning for the Tribe. 3 runs are in. St. Paul leading 4-0 in the top
Yeah.
half of this third frame. Sulzer up to 44 pitches now on the night.
Oh, he's already got 44 pitches.
He had some pretty breezy innings. In fact, he had an 8-pitch, 1-2-3 second inning.
Is it actually?
Thanks in part to the highlight reel play by shortstop Eric Gonzalez.
I don't think I can turn it off
The
while
1-1
recording.
pitch, a soft line
Although
to
I've
the right
never tried.
side. That's gloved by Chavis. He'll throw to second for
I
one.
think you
Relay to
can
first
turn it
in
off while
time,
you're
double
recording.
play.
How?
Brilliant play by
Go
Chavis.
to your
He
screen
could have caught that
recording,
ball
go
in
to
the line.
recording
Had he
right
done
here.
so, the Indians only would have
Just
gotten one
put
out.
the microphone
But instead, he
icon and
trapped
turn
the
it
ball, meaning it was a grounder. And that allowed the
I am listening to you.
4-6-3 double play to kickstart. Heads up play at his heels by Chavis. And you can see in no man's land was Tomas Talise because he was hoping to stay at first on that liner.
How
But
many
instead,
outs
he's
do
doubled
you
off
have?
at second, and a bang-bang
2.
play retires Contreras. 4-6-3. 2 outs for the price of 1 with
2 outs.
Miranda moving to
What
third
did you just do to
base.
your Eton?
Celestino, the batter,
Why
takes
did
the
you say
ball low,
your
so some
Eton?
damage control now for the
Sorry.
Indians.
Huh?
Sorry.
What do you mean, sorry?
Well, you
I
mentioned
called it
Indiana 811
Yori
really
time.
involved throughout the community and
I
different
don't know, I
organizations.
just was thinking.
I'm sure you're going to get to go on this, this kind of PR tour, so to speak, and kind of get all over Central Indiana.
We try to get out as many places as we can and just tell people, it's
Come
a
on,
pretty
get 'em
simple
out.
message. It's a free service. We want you to use it. We don't want you or your community to get hurt. So, we'll travel everywhere. I'll go anywhere. Talk to anybody.
See,
Even you.
I was going to say, but somehow they convinced you to come up here into this broadcast booth.
No, it's been exciting. I've never been in this big booth, so.
I was going to say, thoughts, right?
Yeah, I
Who
like
told
it.
you this was the FRX?
It's a beautiful view.
I
mean,
would say get the
What?
best view in the park.
Who told you this was
It's a
an
brand new
FRX?
Elements Financial Club that you came through to get up here.
2 strikes,
And, we
2
have a brand
outs.
new booth because of it. Our old booth is actually where the table that's right to your left, if you can see through the wall, which I know you can't. I don't think you can. And
What is Marvel Superhero Night? You never know.
I was just about to say, everybody's a superhero, so we're not really sure, what everybody possesses. The first pitch is strike.
And up, I got it.
0-1. Maggi had the ability to really ignite some attention with the Indians when he was
Wait.
at the Columbus Clippers a couple years ago. He had a takeout slide
You said you didn't want anything?
on
Well,
Max
what is
Moroff
there?
of the Indians, and really could have really hurt Max Moroff.
Stand up.
Speaking of Max, we were talking about earlier, the trade with Eric Gonzalez, the 0-1, the strike, it's quickly 0-2. Maggi slide, back then, he was that 2019 season, resulted in the benches clearing there. Huntington Garden talking about excitement. But since is now re-signed with Minnesota, actually came up with the Pirates. Originally a Pirates farm. Got to double A. The 0-2 top foul, first base side of the play. I don't think the Indians will need an Indiana 811 call to the bullpen, but there is activity in that aforementioned bullpen down the left field line to try. I think a lot of that has to do with the amount of pitches that Sulzer has thrown. Also due with the results. A hit batter as Celestino following that big double play as he tries to navigate the inning with only 3 runs across. 0-2, chopper to the left side, right to Gonzalez. 2 hops, throws across to get Maggi, and that's the inning. Well, Darby, thank you so much for spreading the message of Indiana 811. Thanks for sitting with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's been my pleasure.
That's Darby Miller of Indiana 811 after 2.5. It's St. Paul 4, Indianapolis 0.
Hey, Indians fans, the next time you're at Victory Field, be sure to order Admiral Nelson.